Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator, we're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
It started with a smug grin and ended in absolute chaos. In the mayhem, Gavin Newsom didn't even know which camera to panic at, but everyone was watching. Joe Rogan stormed in like a wrecking ball, throwing facts around like heavy steel weights. Then Greg Gutfeld followed, delivering jokes sharper than California's tax hikes. It wasn't just a verbal takedown. It was a slow-motion explosion that tore everything apart. Not even Newsom's cement-thick hair gel could survive the blast. Grab some popcorn because this wasn't just a clash. It was a full-blown on-air meltdown.
President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a fucking con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors. Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
Cut to Gavin Newsom. As the camera zooms in, his hairline looks like it's negotiating peace with a bottle of premium conditioner. Standing at the podium, he exudes the kind of confidence reserved for someone who truly believes his words are the center of the universe. Then the scene shifts abruptly, like thunder wrapped in sarcasm. Once Rogan and Gutfeld set their sights on California's so-called sparkle prince, it wasn't a conversation anymore. It turned into a televised demolition derby with sharp verbal blows flying like wrecking balls through Newsom's polished political facade.
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes. Was
it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list. And there are some ignoramuses on that.
Now let's focus on Gavin. He enters every room like it's a runway for big government fashion. He's a master of the political holy trinity, that toothpaste commercial smile, rehearsed TED Talk lines, and a leadership style that freezes faster than a buffering video. He's the golden boy of progressive politics, championing climate change slogans and maybe carrying a wallet stitched from recycled awards. But once the glossy veneer fades, what's left? Extravagance, arrogance, and far more performance than actual progress.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have. Everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plan.
Don't even get me started on his climate change sermons. Gavin's eco promises could fill an entire aisle at Whole Foods, but California's power grid collapses at the slightest gust of wind. After urging everyone to go electric, officials warn residents not to charge their cars between 4 and 9 p.m. thanks to the early sunset. The ultimate irony? Gas stoves are banned, yet half the state ends up cooking dinner by flashlight. This isn't policy, it's climate theater. A bleak, comical performance where everyone pretends to make progress while stumbling around in the dark.
he's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, you know, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize conveniently, and people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave. And maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yes. Move away. Tyrus, did he leave out anything?
He didn't just leave California, he escaped. Like someone who spots a glitch in the Matrix and bolts for the nearest exit. Can you really blame him when the state starts feeling more like a post-apocalyptic video game than a utopia? Even the king of sauna-loving, elk-hunting podcast royalty needs a getaway. Rogan slammed the accelerator and tore down Interstate 10, leaving smog behind for Texas skies and trading scripts for freedom, like a UFC champion swapping kale for a juicy steak. And he didn't go quietly. He brought the loudest microphone in the world. Joe Rogan's platform isn't just a podcast. It's a juggernaut with over 100 million listeners and an algorithm that keeps CNN awake at night. His weapon, pure fire, no filters, and nothing ignited it faster than Newsom's lockdown logic. While Gavin sipped fine wine like it was the apocalypse, Rogan called out the hypocrisy so loudly that even the French laundry seemed to shrink in shame.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to Josh. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think like 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the brush.
Rogan didn't come alone. He arrived with an army of doctors, economists, and sharp-witted comedians, all combining to create a stunning spectacle. California's rules were as absurd as a financial expert on TikTok using cartoon filters. Small businesses crumbled under the chaos, while mega corporations waltzed through as if they owned the place. Medical prescriptions seemed dictated by a magic 8-ball. Random, confusing, and utterly inconvenient. Through it all, Gavin maintained that dazzling white smile, confident that a bit of hair gel could patch over broken trust. The mass tech exodus that followed became the modern Oregon Trail, except this time it was Teslas instead of wagons. Rogan wasn't just preaching, he moved his studio to Austin, where blackouts were rare after packing up his life. California had grown hostile to innovation and allergic to freedom, and rather than relying on charts or quotes, Rogan's most powerful argument came from the ultimate source, his own lived experience.
While Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation, what does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently the perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched a podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that...
But Gutfeld didn't stop there. He aimed straight for the jugular, his real target, the media's ridiculous obsession with Gavin. Legacy outlets treated him like a JFK reincarnation, complete with perfect teeth and a designer tote. Behind the shine, though, it's chaos wrapped in spray tan. Gutfeld's monologues weren't just funny, they were artillery. He tore apart headlines praising Gavin's bold leadership, while ordinary people struggled with soaring gas prices, skyrocketing rent, and grocery anxiety. Families barely scraping by were juxtaposed against magazines lauding his visionary aura. Then came Gutfeld's climate takedown, slicing through solar dreams and carbon credit schemes like a truth sniper fueled by espresso. Everything looks noble until you realize who's footing the bill. Bureaucrats cruise in hybrids like sci-fi heroes, while regular people endure blackouts. Most charging stations, practically a mirage. Gutfeld didn't just point this out, he demolished it. This wasn't about saving the planet, it was about staging the perfect Instagram photo op.
It's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Then came the knockout punch. Gavin's presidential ambitions. Rumors about 2028 swirled around Gutfeld like incense at a yoga retreat, but he wasn't buying it. He mocked the notion that a man who struggles to run a single state could handle an entire country. He's running fine, Gutfeld shouted, but the real issue is accountability, not charisma. His jokes practically wrote themselves. Take Newsom's presidential dream. It's like franchising a restaurant that just failed 3 health inspections. The signs look shiny, but the kitchen is a disaster. Freezers malfunction, Yelp reviews are on fire, and yet someone expects the world to applaud. But Gutfeld wasn't just joking. He was shattering the delusion. The harsh truths behind every punchline were impossible even for Newsom's PR team to hide. Then came the unanticipated tag team moment. Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld joined forces like 2 wrecking balls, obliterating the mystique around Gavin Newsom. Rogan brought the facts. Gutfeld sparked the fire. Together, they left no doubt. Newsom's leadership had been thoroughly exposed and the target was eliminated entirely.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective. And that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
He didn't yell, flail, or throw a tantrum. Rogan spoke in a calm, unwavering tone, more powerful than any shout. People are leaving, businesses are fleeing, homelessness is rising. The voice hit like a silk-wrapped sledgehammer. Rogan wasn't trying to be funny, and that's exactly what made it so striking. Then Gutfeld stormed in. Same precision, different energy. Rogan used logic. Gutfeld brought the roast. He read the government's script like a stand-up comic forced into the worst play imaginable, injecting incredulity into every line. Rogan reached the mind searching for proof, documentation, and truth. Gutfeld captured the skeptics. The audience's faith in mainstream journalism crumbled as slogans replaced common sense. Fans of Rogan shared charts and videos. Gutfeld's supporters simply pointed to the chaos and said, there it is.
For national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow bald.
But no matter how they approached it, Rogan with icy precision, Gutfeld with sharp sarcasm, they hit the same harsh truth. Gavin Newsom isn't leading, he's performing 2 thumbs down all around. This isn't just failure, it's glitter-covered failure. He looks like a movie trailer promising a masterpiece, but delivering 90 minutes of slow-motion speeches, empty phrases, and confusion. Rogan and Gutfeld weren't fooled for a second. They saw through the illusion from different angles and dismantled it with surgical skill. Gavin became the living embodiment of style over substance. Endless speeches, polished smiles, and nothing behind them. When the duo tore off his glossy facade, it stopped being commentary. It became a full-blown political intervention. Audiences on all sides watched in stunned amazement, one wielding a chainsaw of facts, the other a wrench of sharp humor, exposing the reality behind the spectacle.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been facing major calls to resign over his appalling handling of the deadly California wildfires. And just to quickly recap, these were the most destructive wildfires the state has ever seen. More than 16,000 properties were destroyed. The cost of the fires is estimated to be more than $200 billion. And for businesses in LA County, the future is looking grim. It's projected businesses will continue to lose billions of dollars over the next 5 years due to destruction.
Suddenly, it all clicked. Burned out millennials, libertarians, conservatives, disillusioned hipsters, even the barista who swore off politics after the last election, they all nodded in unison. The conclusion? Maybe the real disaster wasn't bad leadership. It was the endless theater itself. Then just as chaos peaked, boom, the final montage hit. Breathtaking in its clarity. The revelation mattered more than any winner.
Bringing up Gavin. Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who...
Gavin Newsom does not handle criticism well. People had figured him out. After the curtain fell, all that remained were filters, flash, and rehearsed responses. Rogan might even spin it into an episode titled California Collapse Volume 2, and Gutfeld could turn it into a viral sketch, the impoverished version of Gavin's glitzy tour. Will Newsom reflect or change his approach? Of course not. He'll probably post a selfie with a wind turbine captioned, "Leading with Vision." Because for him, it's never been about improvement. It's always been about the performance.